What is up, everybody? Pat's Interference back. We are moving on to week 9 now into the college football season. This is a college football podcast. If you're joining us for the first time ever, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching live if you're watching live, or thank you for doing it on iTunes if you are. I'm Patrick Brickman. He is Patrick Norwood, and I got to be honest with you, this is the most excited week I've been to do a pod with you.
Oh, last year we exercised some demons Saturday, didn't we?
Saturday was a good one for us, traditionally Alabama fans, but we're going to talk about most teams here. No, and beyond just Alabama beating Tennessee, which we will talk about at length.
No,
I mean, we went into the week. Last week on the pod, we said that it was sort of a lower-end week as far as the amount of big games, but the ones that were there, we knew would be good.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
It was a
really good weekend.
Great weekend of college football. It started actually Thursday night.
Yes.
JMU played Marshall 20-9. JMU, okay? But there was it wasn't really like a defensive slugfest.
Mm-hmm.
JMU's punter had 7 punts inside the 20, 5 inside the 10, 2 inside the 1.
Hey, we haven't seen that since
juiced up. Hey, that's JMU. Shout out Leslie Martin. It was, and then the rest of the weekend was awesome. All the games that we thought were going to be great were great, except a couple. And then there were even some games that shouldn't have been great. And they were, and
that was the thing. So I wouldn't call last Saturday like a red letter day for the season. Is the week where everybody loses. I wouldn't say it was that, but there's enough meat on this bone that I am so excited to talk college football today. I hope you guys are too if you're watching. However many people, the thousands we have watching this.
Let's see. We've got 6.8 million at this point right now as we speak.
And if you are in there, please talk in the comments, because that's what makes this fun. That's why we're doing it this way instead of just recording ourselves in Audible and
also we're in the conference championship here,
and the other thing we do is we play NCAA 14 while we do this. So let me
we have a for those of you who may be brand new, we have a offensive coordinator who is at UAB based on the fan vote we did on Twitter. And he is
again appears to be the controller's going out.
Oh, that's good.
So this is going to go on the pod, but if this moves too much, it keeps unplugging. Just keep that in
good
mind.
to know. Good to know.
But here we go. Okay, so we're Quincy Radar. We are at UAB, like you said.
Yep.
Conference championship. Who do we play? SMU?
SMU. 8-4 SMU. Gonna be a pony down. That's I say.
I'm gonna get this started, and then we can get into the game if you want to kick us off.
Yeah.
Wherever we are.
We got a live pad action here in front of us. All right, so the noon game that everybody had their eye on, Penn State, Ohio State. Ohio State 20-12, kind of just outlasted Penn State, but Penn State just never really got anything going.
It has to be a demoralizing loss for Penn State.
I just wonder, and this is more of a okay. So before we just harp on the loser of this
First
game,
in the nation in yards, by the way.
Interesting, isn't that?
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about Ohio State a little bit because I feel like we always harp on the loser first when it comes to these big games.
That's a good point.
Not just us, but everybody.
Yeah.
Ohio State has really come into their own in the last few weeks.
Absolutely, they have.
And that has been huge for them, especially on defense. Penn State couldn't get anything going. They had 17 pass attempts in the first half. And Drew Allard just could not. I mean, it was a bunch of short pass plays and little intermediate passes here and there. They just couldn't get past the sticks.
Which is surprising a little bit to me. That not that they couldn't do much against Ohio State's defense. They've got a really good defense. But I just thought there would be more to their offense this far into the season.
Right.
I thought that because they've been coming along. They've been a balanced attack. Allard's been getting better. They haven't been turning the ball over. And I thought by now they would have really figured some themselves out more. But that has not materialized for them. And so
no, it hasn't.
Now they're on the outside looking in for the upteenth season in a row.
Yeah, and I think it's obviously disappointing for them. Is James Franklin the guy? Is this a James Franklin problem?
He is. I would put him higher than I would like a Jimbo Fisher as far as putting them where they need to be. But I wouldn't go much.
If you would have told me that was going to be a sentence that came out of your mouth 3 years ago, I would have laughed in your face.
Right. No, it's like he's gotten them as far. It's sort of how Arkansas feels about Sam Pittman, right? Maybe not this particular week,
right?
But as of a couple weeks ago, it's probably about how they were feeling about Sam Pittman, is in the way that, thank you for how you've made us better.
Yes.
But now we gotta get to the next level.
We gotta go to the next thing. Yeah. And I just kind of wonder what the straw that breaks it, because I don't think for great ball. Great pass. That's
Thank
how you
you.
win it. Hold on. Are we playing our conference title at home?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
that's how CSU. That's how CSU.
That's how CUSA does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went to, that's why I've been to Middle Tennessee State
Right.
Stadium.
Right. Of course. I've been there too. I watched Sonny Gray throw for 1,000,000 yards against my high school my freshman year
I
in
don't
the
know if
state
I can remember
championship.
either of the quarterbacks. Was Stock still a quarterback
Well,
or a coach?
remember, Sonny Gray is now a pitcher for the Twins.
I might be frauding myself here by asking that question.
But anyway,
Continue.
I think that for Penn State, I don't think it's going to be anything where it's a huge loss that gets
Yeah.
James Franklin in trouble. I think it is going to be you just can't win the one we need you to win.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're saying they're not going to lose to Rutgers and they're going to go, that's it for James Franklin. It's go, you've lost to Ohio State however many years in a row.
Right. Right. And Wisconsin or, insert the team, Michigan, Michigan State, whoever it is at the time. No, not Michigan State this year, but, it is something to sort of keep in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
As far as Ohio State's concerned, like I said, it looks like they've started to figure some things out. I know Marvin Harrison Jr. has been a little bit more quiet than people maybe thought, but I think he's also having a year like Julio had his, whatever it was, sophomore, or not Julio, but Amari Cooper had his sophomore season where it was just, everybody expected it to be a repeat of his freshman year, and then when it wasn't, people were let down.
And honestly, he's turned it up. I mean, he's played
better.
Well, I won't say that he has had the marquee, takeover game like we've seen from, like Jamar Chase a couple weeks ago with the 3 touchdowns when he was struggling. We haven't seen that yet, but he's vitally important even when he's not producing to their offense.
Right.
So Ohio State going from here, I feel really good about them going into the latter. I mean, we all know at this point now for them it's look at that ball.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
that's beautiful.
Great play call, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Great play call.
I feel like they're going to. I mean, I have zero doubt they're going to go into the game against Michigan undefeated. I think that's going to. We all expect that to be an undefeated matchup because Penn State's still going to play Michigan. But for what we saw with Penn State, we expect Michigan to win that. We got a lot more to say about them later. But we want to keep talking about the winner. I'm so impressed by their defense.
Yeah.
Every time I watch it.
It's picked up so massively since the season started. I mean, you remember those games they were having. The early games against, who did they play the first week? Was it Rutgers, Indiana, somebody like that?
Yeah.
And they just looked a little lost. They looked like they obviously were giving up a little bit too much to whoever they were playing in that game.
Nice juke. If that game was played today, and this is going off on a little bit of a tangent, but Michigan, Ohio State, what would you put the line at? I'm not going to ask who you think would win because we got ball to figure out before they play. But where would you put the line if it was today?
I'd probably take Michigan -1.5 or 2.5.
Yeah, I think -2. Michigan, they've been sort of mirror images of each other. They both have really good defenses.
Both of them are.
Ohio State's played obviously had a much tougher schedule now at this point. But Michigan has looked like the more complete team. I don't remember, and you can tell me in the comments, or I'll look it up, or we'll just keep moving on because it's not that important. I don't remember where they're playing it this year, that game, but 2.5 if it was on a neutral field, I think is about right. That's a good call. Anything else you want to say about Ohio State, Michigan?
Or
Penn State, Michigan. Penn State, Ohio State.
No, I think Penn State's got a lot to play for still. Obviously, I don't think we want to see. We don't want to see a full-on drop-off by Penn State, right? It's the same thing we said about Miami, and Miami picked it up this week. We'll talk about that game in a bit. Oh, buddy, I may have made a mistake. Sorry, I tried a big try. You know what? We're going for it. That's what conference champions do. But yeah, I think this is a huge breaking point for James Franklin as a coach.
Yeah.
Because you've seen it time and time again. That's a first down. Turnover.
They didn't count that.
Wow.
Let's see if they review it. Actually, sometimes they do that, but
I don't know. Yeah.
Nope.
Okay. My bad. But
good.
Yeah, so I think this is a huge breaking point for James Franklin and where he is as a coach and where this team's going to go. All right, moving on. Another noon game. UCF nearly upset Oklahoma.
That was a wild one.
And I kind of want to fast forward to the last play of the game when Gus Malzahn decided to go for 2 to tie it. Obviously, he needed to. But called a trick play.
He got cutesy.
How do you feel about that?
I feel bad because, and this is not just hindsight, I got to score against Brent Venables, and Oklahoma, and it feels so odd to say this, considering the past decade of college football and the tropes that formed with it, but Oklahoma's got a ball in defense, right? And that's to win the game. I don't know that I want to try to get cute. Now you got to do something. You can't just run right at their nose tackles,
Right?
Because that's not how UCF is ever going to beat Oklahoma.
No.
Even if they were to keep playing in the same conference, which they're not. But if they were going to be a yearly thing, so I mean, I hated the call. It's easy to say now because it was so atrociously not close. But also, that's not the way I would have gone about it. And I have to imagine, in the moment, UCF fans are pretty upset too.
Yeah. I think so as well. And if you're Oklahoma, I mean, that's one of those survive and advance games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was ugly. It wasn't what you wanted, but you found a way to win and you got past it. Now, if this is a trend for Oklahoma and they keep having games against teams like this where they should win by, 10, 14, 20 points and they're sort of coming down to the wire, that's a cause for concern. I don't anticipate this being the trend, though.
Yeah.
I think this is an outlier more than it is a trend. Air Force 17, Navy 6. Is Air Force a legit playoff contender?
Of course. Yeah, no. No.
If Air Force goes undefeated, why should they be left out of the playoff?
I mean, do you want me to
Go ahead.
To do the thing we do every year? Why should Boise State not be in the BCS National Championship? Why should Team A, B, C, and D not be in it? I mean, it's 4-team. I hate to be that guy, but they have to wait a year.
Yeah.
They have to wait a year to want to be in the playoff. That's just sort of the way it is.
I agree. Mississippi State 7, Arkansas 3. I'm so disappointed in Arkansas, man.
I think everybody is.
And again, you mentioned Sam Pittman earlier. It's just so frustrating because they are so close. I don't know if you're going to get it in time. No, you're not, and they're going to make you punt.
You're right. They might let me go for this.
But yeah, Sam Pittman, it's like you said earlier. Thank you for what you've done, but it's time. Fire Dan Enos post game.
They fired him like middle of the day on Sunday. They didn't even wait till Monday.
No. Which good riddance, Dan Enos. If you're watching this, no one likes you.
Genuinely, I mean, I've not seen a name.
How does he get another job?
He was like when Bama got him as the quarterback coach. We were hype. His name is carried. I don't remember where his name gained the weight, but I haven't seen a coach lose it as steadily as he has.
Yeah.
Over the last, I don't know, however many years.
5, 6, 7, around there.
They're covering that.
Yeah, he's not the guy, man.
Yeah.
He's just not it. I don't know why anyone would hire him at a large program. It's just it's cancerous. It feels like It is an absolute disaster for your program. But I think Sam Pittman's on the hot seat now too.
Yeah, he and I think we kind of mentioned him a minute ago, but like, again, now we're past the you've done well for us, thank you. Now they are legitimately getting worse.
Yeah.
In a hurry.
Yes.
To lose that game in that capacity, I mean, shoot, that could have been a pick six. To lose that game in that capacity, I mean, people expected a fair amount out of Arkansas's offense this year because they have however long he's been there, quarterback.
3-year quarterback.
Yeah, coming back. I mean, this is his last year. He's a big dude. We saw what kind of plays he can make in the Alabama game. We know what he's capable of. We've seen it many times. So to put up 3 points against Mississippi State is, well, now we're punting.
Field goal.
Yeah. Yeah, watch the field goal unless they make me go for it here. Because our kicker is genuinely bad.
Let's see. Hold on. How do I watch? Yeah, there we go.
No, it's a huge disappointment. Arkansas fans have to be throwing their hands in the air going, what else do we have to do to really compete in the West? Past September, I mean, Arkansas every year falls out. We always expect them to be good.
Yep.
And then they just kind of fall off the national scene and have to play scary team you don't want to play by the second week of October every time.
Here's the thing. They came closer to beating Alabama this year than Tennessee did.
That is true.
That
is true.
But
on the road.
That means that after a game where you come so close to doing that, and I'm not a big believer in moral victories. You know that about me.
Of course.
But that's as close to a moral victory as I think you can have in college football. The next game, you need to put Mississippi State. Not only do you need to put them away, you need to put them away early, and they just couldn't do it. They just could not do it.
No, they're not. They're not a good team this year. They're a team that maybe could upset somebody, but I'm not looking at. I thought they would be a good team. I thought they would be a team that would win 8, 9, potentially 10 games if a couple fumbles would go their way. But no, not even close.
No. All right. Next game you want to talk about? Pick one out.
Yeah,
pick
let me pick
out.
one. How do you feel about Oregon's 38-24 response after their loss?
Good. I think that's what they needed to do. I think there's a lot of teams in college football. Miami was an example this year. Although, again, big win this weekend. We'll talk about them here in a bit. But there's a lot of teams in college football that they take that first loss. Yeah. Sorry if you guys can hear this controller tonight. We've got a new controller, and it is loud. Yeah. It is a loud controller. But yeah, I think there's a lot of teams who would fall off, and it was good to see Oregon kind of bounce back against a very good Washington State team, by the way. Washington State team that's nothing to turn your nose up at or anything in that nature. It's a little
topsy-turvy year over there in Pullman.
But, Oregon's just going to keep trucking along. They're still a top 10 program. They're still easily a path to the college football playoff for them. But they've got to keep their nose to the grindstone. I mean, you saw Washington, who we'll talk about in a minute, nearly sort of give it away against Arizona State. Yeah. That very well could be Oregon, right? Oh boy!
And that would have been huge for Oregon had Washington lost that. That would have been life.
This is bad news bears.
I usually turn off injuries, but I didn't for this, and I don't see that screen very often. So I think we have our backup QB in to come win this. Liddy, yeah, there he is.
We're gonna let him throw from the first play from scrimmage. I'm a big believer in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Oregon, good job to the Ducks. They look good doing it too. I like those jerseys, although my girlfriend didn't.
What? The throwbacks?
So you know how sometimes colors just don't work for your eyes, I think is what we came up with.
Okay.
Like, I don't like the way Texas A&M and Mississippi State look, but some people think that's a really nice, clean look.
Yeah.
I think that's how she doesn't like the green and the yellow together.
Okay.
And I used to not either. I'll be honest. And this is going to be one of the dumbest things I've said on this podcast, but like as a kid, I never really liked the Packers jerseys. The Packers look. That was a sick play.
Wow.
But now I'm wrong. I know how.
I guess I understand that. I think it's the best look Oregon has every year. Every year I look forward to their faux-back jerseys.
I did want the helmet to be green, I think, but I don't fully remember.
I love the yellow lid. I don't know. I think that's the best look they put out on the field.
Moving on. Missouri, 34-12 over South Carolina, who coming into the year, South Carolina had a little bit of hype. Is Missouri a threat to either Georgia or Tennessee in your mind?
Yes,
like, truly.
big time.
Can you see that happening?
Big time.
Or is it like a talking point?
Big time. I absolutely could see that happening. Now, will I be surprised if both Tennessee and Georgia wax them because they're expecting it? No. Mm-hmm. But I don't anticipate that happening. I think Missouri is going to beat one of those teams.
You think they will beat one of those teams?
I do. I think they'll at least cover against one of them. I could see them beating one of them.
I can see it. I don't know if I want to commit to it being an actual, possibility other than just, a fun little thing to bring up on our podcast.
Look, Missouri's got an offense, man.
Missouri has an offense. They got a receiver. They got a quarterback that's sometimes getting him that ball.
Yeah.
And they've had a defense that's held up their end of the bargain more often than not. Ooh, in trouble.
I've got to look up Missouri's schedule for the rest of the year, so I need you to ramp for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. There it is. Saturday, November 4th, they play Georgia. Okay, so they've got a week.
They're off this week.
They've got a bye week.
They're off this week, just like a lot of teams are.
Just like Bama and LSU are both off. We need to probably preview the LSU game tonight, by the way.
Yeah, we could do that. Just to throw this out there, and we should have said this at the beginning,
yes.
But he's going to be gone the next few weeks, and you can tell him why I'm not going to
I'll be out. That. Yeah, no, I'm going to Europe. The lovely Jade Norwood and I are traveling to Europe.
Seam is open.
For about 2.5 weeks, a little over 2.5 weeks, actually. We are very much looking. Oh, that's a great ball. We're very much looking forward to that. But we will be in Paris to Berlin, Berlin to Dresden, Dresden to Munich, Munich to Dublin, Dublin to Edinburgh, Edinburgh to Manchester, Manchester to London, London back to Durham. So I will be out.
There's going to be a quiz on that, by the way.
I will definitely be sending my thoughts after each Saturday, just a little 2-minute pop-in.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try and do something fun with it. I don't know what that is yet. It may just be from my hotel room because I'm sleepy.
Do what you got to do. But that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
I'm going to try to have at least 2.
That was ugly.
It's almost halftime. I'm going to try to have at least 2 different hosts. Here, you only threw one pass.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
A couple different hosts, guest fill-ins, and I haven't done all that yet, but I think...
Are they going to play NCAA?
No, MC will not be playing NCAA.
I kind of want
I might put on, if she is game for it, because she's kind of excited, I might put it on, like an exhibition
Like the
game,
one
rookie
button mode or something? Yeah, I understand
Just to let her
that.
run around. But she's still learning the rules of football. I enjoyed telling her why teams punt during the Dolphins game on Sunday.
That's awesome.
She learned what first,
love
second,
that.
third, and fourth down means, and why they punt sometimes, and why they kick field goals sometimes.
Love it.
And that's hard stuff. That's second day thing. That's not first day of football. That's second day of football stuff. So so she'll be hosting. We're gonna have some fun with that. I'll talk football, and then she'll give some, girl that doesn't know football takes. Anyway, moving on.
Nope.
They more?
Bye week Georgia. Then they play Tennessee. They get Tennessee at home. They then have Florida also at home, and then they go to Arkansas. There's a very real chance where Missouri's only losing one game the rest of the season. So just keep an eye out for that.
And what is the record at present? Can you see that? Do you have that pulled up?
They have one loss, correct?
I can't remember a second, but
oh gosh, my phone freaked out and I'm trying to play.
It's okay. It's not important at this juncture.
I believe they only have one loss, and it is to stand by. I can do this. I can multitask. I've got 13 seconds left on the shot clock.
I could also just do this.
Nope, not until I get it first.
It's gonna be 7-1. That was pretty.
They
good.
lost to LSU.
And okay, so they have one loss, which is one less yard than Iowa had in the second half of their game against Minnesota. If you like that,
that they still almost won.
They still almost should have won.
And Iowa got screwed a little bit the same way that Tennessee kind of got screwed on the fair catch, not fair catch rule, but also know the rules.
Can this cubic boogie? Have we tried that yet?
I think you should try and boogie with them a little bit.
Not doing on this one though, because they are
boot scooting
all
boogie,
over the right side of that line.
Oh, you got them. Oh,
that was
beautiful.
Touch pass.
But yeah, no. Iowa's bad. Iowa's offense is so bad and their defense is so good. And Jason
in a comically bad way too.
Jason Kirk said it best on Shutdown Focus, where he's like, if you don't have an interest in who wins their games, watching Iowa is truly incredible. Like it's truly fascinating to watch them only get 2 yards.
I am not sure if I can envision what that looks like in my head. Like truly. Like what an entire half of 2-yard football looks like in a must-win game for a ranked team. I can imagine it for a poverty program, fine and good. But for a team that came into that game ranked?
Can I ask you a question, and this is gonna get clipped and we're gonna get chopped in half?
Yeah.
Do you think you can throw as many interceptions as you want? You can get sacked as many times as you want, okay? Do you think you could get 2 yards in a D1 P5 college football game?
Am I playing quarterback?
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of do.
Because you can throw as many picks as you want, okay?
Yeah.
You can throw 11 picks in a half.
Yeah, I mean, I can just throw it. I will complete it to somebody for more than 2 yards. I genuinely, if I'm taking I'm going to say, if I'm taking the ball out of the shotgun, I'm not gonna take it under center.
No.
If I can take the ball out of shotgun, have a moment to surveil, have a team that can call plays and just tell me where everybody's going, and I just need to deliver one ball 9 feet, I can do that.
I think.
But is that there in the fact where negative plays count?
Right. So that's another thing is I think we have to say that then.
Yeah.
But you have a half of football to get 2 yards. I think I could throw enough bubble screens and tunnel screens and little wide receiver screens to get at least 2 yards and not get sacked. I would just spam that play every single time and throw it as hard as I can at the wide receiver. I genuinely think I could, which, oh my God. Hey, you're in your back. Okay, that was the time to truck, not spin.
I wanted to Eddie Lacy it in the end zone.
Parker chimes in, running back screen, easy 2 yards, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, if it's I would probably, because now you're asking me, do you think I'm better than Iowa's quarterback?
That's not what I'm saying.
I know.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, do you think you could get 2 yards?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I could. Now, if we're OC, do you think we can get 2 yards? Because I think we can get at least 50 yards.
I mean, if I'm OC, that does make it a little bit easier. I like how much I assume that an OC's job is easy, but then when you say, I just need to get more than 2 yards and a half against Minnesota, and I'm Iowa,
it was against Minnesota, bro.
I'm not Prairie View A&M. I mean, I'm Iowa, I can get 2 yards as OC. That is easy. I don't have to think about that for a second.
I'm fascinated at how anyone there still has a job.
It's a cultural thing. I mean, yes, they need a new offensive coordinator, but that is their identity, is not knowing what to do on offense. I mean, that is, I don't know how else to put it.
The quarterback's got a little got a little muscle on
It's
him.
really funny though. 12-10 is a good like high scoring baseball game of a final that you don't see that often. Okay, we're getting into some meaty games here. Texas Houston 31-24. Does that raise a red flag for you at all, or are they just kind of
Yes,
figuring
because
out the
Quinn
same way
Ewers
other
is going to
teams
be
are?
out for multiple weeks.
I didn't know that.
Quinn Ewers hurt his UCL.
Did that happen on
Yes.
Saturday? And was it news that I just missed, or is that like this
Oh
week? we're
my
finding this out?
word! Our running back.
That is huge news for Oklahoma.
Dude, and I feel bad for him, but he's injury prone. This is 2 years now where he has sustained a big injury in a game where they really kind of needed him. Now, granted, Texas's backup came in and had a really, really good game.
Sure. I didn't know that he got hurt. How long did they say he's going to be out?
It's a UCL injury, so it could be 2 weeks and it could be 5. Like, there's just no telling. So I don't really know how bad it's going to get, but Texas could not afford that. Also, they gave up 24 points to Dana Holgorsen and nearly lost. Mm-hmm. And again, I get it. They were without Quinn Ewers again. Mm-hmm. Things change, but I don't know about Texas, man. I feel like, all right, if Texas and Alabama met in the same circumstances today, okay, who would win that game?
I think Alabama would win that game at home. I mean, they're not a much more complete team, but they're a better team now. I mean, they're better than they were.
They're not a much more complete team.
No, they're a better team than they were week 2, and Texas is, I think, in my opinion, a little worse. And for an Alabama fan, it's a shame that this wasn't played in week 7, 8, 9, 10. But that's not the way that college football works.
I'm sure they would say the same thing about last season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Parker asked of Iowa, I didn't watch that game. What happened to their O-line? Just not do anything. I was play calling is terrible. It's the same like 3 or 4 plays every time, and every play is designed to get exactly 3 yards.
Their offensive coordinator is their coach's son, so there's some nepotism there. And
he also,
prior to the season, they gave him like a number of yards or touchdown points to reach.
It's points, and he had to hit. I think it's like 24 points a game
to get his bonus / probably not be fired. And he's not going to hit it.
He's not going to come close.
Ferentz is going to have to fire his own son, and that's going to. Bobby had to do that once upon a time.
But will he? Do you think he actually will? I don't think he's going to do that.
Does he want to keep being the coach, or is he going to leave? Because he can't keep his son for another season after that.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. He's going to have to change it up. He can't just stay and keep doing this.
If Kirk Ferentz leaves and his son takes over as head coach, that would be the funniest outcome for this whole thing.
Oh, that's not even what I'm saying happens.
No, I know.
I'm saying the board of trustees are going to go, you either get rid of your coach or we're cleaning house.
You're done. Yeah. No, I could definitely see that happening.
Because, hey, once upon a time, Bobby had to do that, and he got rid of him, and he hired a coach in waiting, and he was Jimbo Fisher, and he got a title out of it. But that's 2 completely different programs.
Yes.
Anyway, we were just talking about Texas. I had another Texas question. Oh, so Quinn Ewers, and I'm just going to name, off the top of my head, I think the 3 highest rated quarterbacks of the last 7, 8 years in high school. And that's Trevor Lawrence 1, Quinn Ewers 2, I think Justin Fields was 3, and then behind that somewhere it's Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, like other dudes.
Yeah,
right? But
just those small
That's
names.
how high Quinn Ewers was, is kind of what I'm saying. Like, just a notch below what people thought.
He was almost
Trevor
as good
Lawrence
as Brody Croyle coming out of high school.
So, with that in mind, at this point, has he already surpassed this, or what does Quinn Ewers need to do to not feel like a disappointment as far as his career goes?
I don't think he feels like a disappointment. I think what he has to do is get a big win and get a win in a meaningful bowl game. I mean, look what college football did for Sam Ehlinger.
Yeah.
I don't see that necessarily being far out of the realm for Quinn Ewers. I think he's a better quarterback than Sam Ehlinger. I just don't think he has that signature win. Ehlinger had the win against Georgia, right? Mm-hmm. He doesn't exactly have that. How did we get the ball down here?
Yeah, I think they turned it over.
Okay. He doesn't exactly have that signature win. I think he needs it. You could argue that it was Alabama this year, but if they lose 2 or 3 more games this season, no one's going to remember that game.
Yeah.
Right. So I think he needs that signature win, and I think he's good enough to play in the NFL. I do.
No, he'll be drafted. He could be a first. I mean, he's been talked about as being a day 1, for sure day 2 pick. But here's the thing: is Quinn Ewers isn't Sam Ehlinger. Quinn Ewers is supposed to be one of the faces of college football, the same way that Bryce Young and Trevor Lawrence have been.
Right.
And I don't think just beating Bama this year is enough to hang his hat on and call, like,
yes,
he lived up to the billing.
Right.
I think he needs to do more because, Justin Fields played in Natty and went to the playoffs, and other guys won the Heisman. And I don't think just being a first-round pick and having a few good plays and getting the big upset win is going to be enough.
No, I don't either.
I will feel like if he leaves, if he stays 2 or 3 weeks, loses to Oklahoma again, and just kind of finishes out his career in a New Year's Six bowl. I think if he just finishes in a New Year's Six bowl, I won't look at him as what he should have been. I won't look at him as like. And the transfer from Ohio State going to Sark, I don't know how we picked that up, but I'll take it.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't want to really kill Ewers too much,
No.
but he didn't progress the way I thought he would.
No, I think most people agree with you, but I think, again, a lot of that's injuries.
We're in try-stuff territory here, by the way.
Okay.
It's first and goal from the 2, so I'm going to try a little thing called a fade route.
Oh.
Which are atrocious in this game, but it'll be funny.
Got him.
Oh!
Whoa. That's about as
I
pretty
love
as
it
you
when
can run
I love it when they do actually get pulled out. All right, let's run it in.
Not Texas and Houston. We just talked about that. Let's talk about Ole Miss and Auburn because I watched a replay of the game.
I'm glad you watched it because I actually didn't see as many plays from this game as I wanted.
Jackson Dart is such a unique combination of being talented and completely unremarkable from snap to snap.
We're getting a booth review.
That's so JUCO.
Let's do this live. All right, did he get in? And knee down, ball's not across the line. That's a good review by the upstairs staff. Let's bring in Gene Sarator.
Gene Sarator.
I'm
guys.
right here, and I think that you can see the knee right. Oh, okay.
I agree with the broadcasters and the broadcast team that are paying me money to be here.
I have never disagreed with the refs ever in a game. Which actually they did twice. I saw that happen twice this weekend in the NFL. Which is a little weird. This is a beatdown, by the way.
Yeah, this is a statement conference championship win.
Do you think we're not going to get in on this play? Okay.
Quarterback power. Okay.
Inside zone split.
It's 4th down, by the way.
Is it?
I think so.
I think it's 3rd.
Okay. Doesn't matter.
A little Y.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Turn that one over. So again, Jackson Dart is some throws he made Saturday were beautiful balls. And then he also had some throws that were just terrible.
That's the Jackson Dart experience, baby.
He ran.
And the Joe Milton experience.
When he would take off and run, he was great. But there was way too much of him holding onto the ball for far too long. He would make great reads in tight coverages. And it looked awesome. And then he would miss wide open guys over the middle. And I've never seen a Jekyll and Hyde quarterback quite like Jackson Dart. On the flip,
they're always at Ole Miss, aren't they?
On the flip side of the ball, yeah, Chad Kelly was that way too.
And Bo Wallace.
I think he's better than Bo Wallace, but
he is better than Bo Wallace, yes. But he was the same kind of quarterback.
On the flip side of the ball, Auburn. I'm going to say some nice things about Auburn today. I don't want to, but I'm going to.
Yeah, go ahead, I suppose.
Their running game is very good. Jarquez Hunter is a great running back.
He's a bowling ball, man.
Judkins had a monster game, by the way. I don't want that to go unrelated. It was just Jackson Dart was such an eyesore for part of the game and then so great for part of the game that I had to talk about him. But Judkins stole the show offensively for Ole Miss. Jarquez Hunter's a great running back. Anytime Robbie Ashford gets the ball and he drops back to pass, it is either going to be a 1 to 2 yard gain or he is throwing an interception. So every time he gets the ball, everyone knows he's about to run it. And it's just whether or not he's going to be a better athlete than people, which sometimes he is.
Yeah.
Peyton Thorne is just fine.
Look at that Tutter.
He's fine.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be meaner to Auburn, but when your defense is on the field like 85% of the game because you cannot do anything on offense, and then everyone throws their hands up and they're like, well, we hired the offensive genius, Hugh Freeze. Now, granted, he adopted kind of a nightmare.
He did. I don't think anybody expected the offense to be gangbusters this year or anything.
But remember how we were talking about their running game in the first few weeks? And we were all like, oh, wow, their running game's really good. Well, now there's tape.
Yeah.
And you just key in on a couple things here and there, and it's like, oh, man, you're going for the kill.
Yeah, I'm just running up the score.
Wow.
This is style points for the playoff committee.
You know what? You're right. You're right. I'm going to do the same thing. So, yeah, I just... It was an ugly game.
Ole Miss, this backup is coming and been way better than our starter.
He's been insane. He's full Tua.
Oh, my heart. But yeah, okay. So my main question for Auburn, because they're going to play Alabama, and I'll look a little bit more closely at them before that. But like, My main question about Auburn offseason, and one of the things I'll really be keying in on for them is can Hugh Freeze. They're missing more than quarterback, but a lot of their problems get solved if they had a dude in there that was, let's face it, better than Peyton Thorne, who was not very good at Michigan State, who's not very good. So, if he can get an actual real transfer quarterback, because that's the way to band-aid this, is to, all right, Thorne didn't work, who's on the market this year?
Yep.
Who's a Riley Leonard? Can we get Riley Leonard in town? Can we get, and I'm just saying names that I think they're whispers that might transfer, like Sam Hartman did last year.
Yep.
Auburn tried to flirt with guys like the big ones recently, like Caleb Williams and the big transfers. Auburn contacted them, but with Brian Harsin in charge and then,
Harsin in charge.
Hugh Freeze taking over, it wasn't a situation where the good quarterbacks were interested. Have they done enough to attract a guy? I'm interested in seeing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what the solution is there, but I know it's not going to come for a while. I don't think they get a quarterback and things are solved overnight.
Yeah.
Yes, it's great that Patrick.
There's no way to drop it in that bucket, though. I saw what you saw.
You're right.
But there's no way in this game
float it over. Yeah.
To touch pass in there quite that way without the.
Especially on the run. That was just
There's no way to be Tua.
That's stupid. Okay, so that's enough on Ole Miss, Auburn. Let's get to Michigan State for a plethora of reasons, and we're gonna hit on this game and come to a screeching halt as I just take a horrible Jalen Milroe style sack.
We can get 60 though.
So, all right. Do you want to start with Michigan State or Michigan?
Got another play.
Okay.
I'm kind of like the way I feel about NC State this year. Like actually that's an insult to NC State.
Oh,
when
no.
it comes to Michigan State, I'm kind of done talking
No,
about
sweetie.
them.
We're not talking about on field.
Okay. I mean even off field. Like I'm just kind of done talking
I see what you mean.
about everything that's going on there.
I'm not. They threw up a photo of Hitler on their video board.
Oh, that's different.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that is
That's
what I would love to discuss.
How horrible? How?
How is it?
And I know how
That's the
because
only
they
question.
went to a YouTube channel, get a trivia game that apparently they didn't even ask permission from the guy to run. They just started running it.
Yeah.
And one of the answers was Hitler. How do you not look? You and I are both into this industry. One of my jobs at the Bulls is to get those little videos that you play, little interstitial videos here and there that you play when the crowd needs something to take their mind off of before a game. For us, pitching changes, things like that. How do you settle on doing a trivia game like that and not vet to the questions and answers on the trivia game?
Laziness. Nobody's at this game. We're getting destroyed. Why do we need to do anything that requires any effort? We're losing this game. We haven't scored until whatever quarter it's in. We're not going to win. This is our most hated
This was
rival.
pre-game. They put a photo up on the video board.
This was pre-game?
Pre-game, dude.
Game. Yeah, so just laziness, I guess, is the answer there.
It's just so bad.
Sloppiness
it's
and
just
laziness.
so bad.
That's the way it goes.
So that's Michigan State. That's that segment. I threw a pick. I hit him in the face mask.
This is SMU.
I'm not playing a great game, by the way, and we're up 59-9.
SMU did not come to play today.
Okay. Other side of the ball, Michigan's fine. Michigan's good. Calm down. Michigan's good. Michigan's sort of getting to be like the Patriots, where every single time something comes out about them somewhat cheating, you look at it, and if it weren't the same team over and over again, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of BS. Who cares? Like, oh, they deflated footballs. Who cares? But because it's Tom Brady, it's the biggest thing in the world, right?
Yeah.
You had the Harbaugh thing, and then you had Michigan coming out and doing like a self-imposed suspension, whatever, right? And that's its whole thing, and that kind of ran its course. Now you have this whole cheating scandal, and if you don't know what we're talking about, it's too much to go into, and it's a lot. But essentially, they had a grad assistant.
Somebody, I don't know who it was on the staff.
His name's Connor Stallions, which is incredible to me. And so he was stealing signs. They have a paper trail of him getting tickets to 11 different Big Ten games. There is apparently photos now, I don't know if they've been shopped or anything, so take it with a grain of salt. Photos of him holding a laminated play card with the other team's hand signals on the sideline. There's video of him leaning into coach's ears after a team puts in their signs and whispering something. That was an awful ball. That was an awful ball.
Back up.
It's all right. It's all right. We can't
So
be
there's,
perfect.
but there's more smoke to this than it probably looked like.
There is more smoke. I don't think it'll amount to anything. I don't know if it needs to, but at the same time, if this is true and this is what's happening, how stupid are you to leave a paper trail at a program that is under the radar and under the microscope every year, regardless of the record, like Michigan is? Mm-hmm. And then how are you dumb enough to not immediately come out, we're launching a full-fledged investigation, he has been let go, that's that. By the way, conference
title, baby.
title.
After all of this.
Oh, play of the game.
I love that we're interrupting this segment with our big celebration, because I'm going to let the celebration play out. Just why not?
Yeah.
We earned this.
Yeah, we did.
Conference title. I mean, look, oh my goodness, that's got to be a very heavy thing to do, but they're doing it like it's nothing. Look at Trent Dilfer. Look at how happy Trent Dilfer is there.
They've got the little GoPro of Quincy Radar up in the booth. Like,
oh, they'll get their dog in the backup. The backup came in and helped put up 60. Oh my, the player of the game, Landry Liddy.
It was great. It was great.
Okay.
Okay, so with Michigan, I'm over it, dude. I'm over just constantly. Well, we don't talk enough about Michigan. Well, Michigan's not an item of discussion this year. We're just not respecting Michigan. Michigan, ready for this? Michigan is the new Clemson. We don't talk about you because there's nothing to talk about, dude. You beat the daylights out of bad teams, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to care like you're good. And you are good. But just let it be, we're good.
Mm-hmm. And we've mentioned that all year long.
Do you know how much I pine for the days when it was just, oh, Alabama just beats the crap out of people, so we don't need to talk about them. But yet it's this big complaint with Michigan fans, and we have one that listens to this pod. He thinks I'm going after him. You're not alone. I love you. I'm sorry. But there are so many Michigan fans that are like, well, I guess nobody's talking about us. Guess we're just a little scrappy underdog again this year. It's like, no, you haven't been that in 3 years. The only people who are saying that you are is you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, okay, so, one, and I don't need to defend how we cover teams on here, but I am. We generally talk about Alabama because we've always done Alabama. This used to be an Alabama-only podcast. This started as only Alabama, and then we'd discuss things that pertain to Alabama. Then we evolved and we started talking more about all of college football because we're still passionate about that. But we really talk Alabama, and then we talk about the games against ranked teams, and then we go off on discussion topics if we need to. But when you have a team, one, that has not played a ranked team, that has been doing good and looking impressive while doing it, but there's not much to say there, right? Yeah, J.J. McCarthy looks better than I thought he would. I didn't think he was that good. I thought he was an average quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Okay, I told you that. Good. Hey, the defense is awesome. That is what I know about them. That is what I can know about them. Number two, when it comes to the alleged sign stealing, something should come of it. If it's true, if this is true, this is not a recruiting infraction that nobody cares about. If this is a thing that happened that's against the rules, right? In the NFL, you can send people to other games, you can send coaches to other games, and you can scout, you can watch them, and you can they even exchange video. They'll exchange video back and forth. But what they don't send is video of things that happen on the sidelines. So if you're taking video of things that happen on the sidelines, and that is explicitly against the rules, and you have a paper trail, something should happen. It won't. It's the NCAA, and I don't care. But I should care, but I don't because nothing ever happens, and I don't care because I'm broken by this shitty, broken system that's been here forever. You're going to get off scot-free. Nobody cares, but we're going to dog you in the middle of it because, yeah, you're cheating.
Because you deserve it.
Guess what? It doesn't matter. Nothing's going to happen.
No.
Nothing has ever happened to Alabama, and we've been cheating for years. You know? Nothing happened to Auburn, and they explicitly cheated with Cam Newton. They gave him $250,000. They know he said that. We know he got it. We know Cecil built up his church. It doesn't matter. But yeah, we're going to dog you. Everybody's been dogging Alabama for years.
And in addition to this, if you ask somebody who won the 2010 championship, do they say Auburn, but they paid Cam Newton? No, nobody cares.
No.
It's Auburn.
Jimbo Fisher got on a pulpit and screamed into the mic the way I am now about Nick Saban. And this is a dude that worked with Nick Saban at multiple stops and was with him for multiple years and has played against him for multiple years, saying that he knows that he cheated. And who cared? Nobody cared. He could have told... We all know Jimbo Fisher could have gotten on there and said, yeah, he used to grab Burger King bags and his assistants would throw money in there and they would throw it from the car and then he would drive that car over to Dre Kirkpatrick's house and they'd give it to him and that was his third car of the week. Like, we know they did that. Nobody cares. So if you want to get up in arms like we're being mean to you because you cheated, you deserve it. People have been doing it to Alabama for years. This is what happens when you start making the playoff. So don't get all, it's us against the world when if there's again, I don't know all the story about this, but you're probably cheating. We're seeing it and it's unfolding, and we're gonna laugh at you. We're gonna go, hey, you're frauds, you're frauds, you're frauds, and then nothing will happen. We'll forget about it. So you can rest easy, and you have Tom Brady, and you can say Tom Brady played here, even though he wasn't that good there.
He did beat Alabama.
He did beat Alabama.
But yeah, so there you go.
Mike Hart is awesome.
We talked about Michigan.
We talked about Michigan, and Texas I like doing this. Kansas State's going to the Natty. I always like to
Oh wow! Oh, we're doing this live.
Yeah, we're doing this live. Kansas State's going to the Natty. Georgia won the SEC, but they lost 2 games.
Water sweat.
This would be fun for the triangle if it was real.
So if you're listening on pod, we're going through the conference champions in our NCAA game. All right.
This is also to decide who goes to the Natty. So who is going to be playing Kansas State in our first Natty of our first season?
It's got to be USC, right?
Oh, Washington pulled it out by 3.
Wow.
Let's see how they get then. A touchdown run with 1:51 left. That would have been fun.
Couldn't get the onside kick.
Speaking of Michigan.
Okay, I want to talk about 2 or 3 more games here. We'll spend a little bit of time on this one. Clemson, Miami, man. Miami bounced back in a big way, won the game. If you're Clemson, what do you do?
If you're Clemson, what do you do?
I am talking big picture here because we weren't exactly talking big picture.
Oh, I can answer that.
We haven't been. Are you firing Dabo?
No. But you were making sure. No, you don't fire Dabo. But you make sure. Actually, this doesn't. Dabo's kind of above anybody telling him he has to do this or he's gone. He's won 2 natties, and this is Clemson, right? You don't do that at Clemson. He's God status there, whether or not we want to admit it. We love memeing him, but he has God status in that building. We were 3rd in the Heisman. Good job, DJ Giddens, with this. I mean, that's a lot of all-purpose yards.
That's a lot of yards.
Pretty damn good season. That's a legitimate Heisman winner right there.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm gonna let you start off the bowl game.
Oh my God!
This is a big moment for this podcast. You're playing Tennessee.
Oh yes.
In the Birmingham Bowl. This is a big moment for this. And
Did you just hit do not add on the trophy?
It doesn't do anything. It doesn't actually do anything.
Depressed.
We are going to be talking about Bama, Tennessee, while we play Tennessee in the Birmingham Bowl.
All right. Well, now hold on.
But let me finish my Clemson.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So this is what you do. Dabo needs to wake up and see college football for the way that it is.
Yes.
Which is play the game. Right? There's a Scrubs episode. And I'm going to bring Scrubs into this if you don't mind.
Our favorite TV show collectively?
Yes. Our collective favorite TV show, Scrubs.
Yeah.
There's an episode where JD, the main character, the younger character, is talking to people and shaking hands and doing things that his mentor, Dr. Cox, doesn't like because he's kissing up a little bit, right? He's kissing up a little bit, and Dr. Cox is mad. He's giving him shade. And JD finally looks at him and says, hey, I want to be like you, but a more successful you. Right? And so Dabo wants to be like Bear Bryant. Dabo wants to be like the guys that he grew up idolizing, the Gene Stallings and the Bear Bryants, the guys he played for in Alabama. And they do this, and it's all, and there's nothing wrong with this inherently, but a Christian environment, and we do things this way. You don't visit other schools when you commit here. Commitment's a commitment.
Right quick, first in points and yards.
And yards, yeah, we're going to get another job after
Yeah,
this.
I think so.
But we need to win this game. We need to buckle down. Right, but Dabo wants to be old, and it's in the rain. He wants to be old school, but now he has to learn to play the game a little bit.
Yeah.
He needs to learn to get with the time. He needs to do the things that he's uncomfortable. We are the road game in our own stadium. The road team in our own stadium. Look at how much Tennessee is in there. That is funny. And he has to start doing what everybody else is doing a little bit more and a little bit better. I don't know if he's fully not doing it, but he's got to start really hitting the transfer.
Well, and I think he is. I think Clemson is capable of doing it.
He is.
Clemson is a very easy
it's
program.
Still a desirable location to go play ball.
You can convince someone to go to Clemson to play football pretty easily in the transfer portal.
They still are getting dudes to play there over Alabama, over Georgia. They're still beating out teams for good recruits every year. Yeah. Not as much lately because it's not looking as good. But Peter Woods was the number 1 or 2 ranked player in Alabama last year, and he's from Gardendale, and he didn't go to Alabama. He went to Clemson. There are still dudes that will go buy into that program. So that's what Clemson needs to do. That's my long-winded way of saying that if Dabo gets with the times, we're done talking about Clemson the way we are right now.
Also, shout out to Miami, who bounced back, came back, and had a big win in a week where we said that's exactly what they needed to do.
That is exactly what they needed. And is Tyler Van Dyke okay? Do you know this yet? Or does
Tyler Van Dyke was banged up in that game. I don't know if he's okay or not, but he was definitely banged up. Did you just drop the mouse?
Yeah, I dropped the mouse. I'll get it. But
Okay. All right, brief intermission.
Anyway, so that's the long and short of it as far as Clemson goes. Their season's done this year, and he can't do anything as far as recruiting this year goes. But the team he has isn't strong in the trenches the way it used to be.
No.
It's not all over the board. He doesn't have the receivers he used to. I mean, this dude was putting out DeAndre Hopkins and Sammy Watkins.
Justin Ross was an absolute
Justin Ross
dog.
and these all these dudes that are in the league now. These dudes were catching one-handed balls against Bama. He doesn't have those dudes. Shipley is no Travis Etienne, even though he's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he gets with the times and can start recruiting in the South the way he used to, Clemson's right back. If not, they're back to being middle-of-the-road Clemson.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we got one more game from last week.
We have two. I want to talk about two more games from last week.
Okay.
Before we get to Alabama.
Two more. You're right.
Or I guess, yeah. Well, technically three. Because there's one game.
We have three more to talk about.
There's one game on here that you didn't watch that I watched every snap of.
Okay. Yeah, and then we have, let's do...
And then let's do Utah USC next.
Two big teams lost and probably got taken completely out of the national championship chase. So we'll do Utah USC. That's the first team that had a big loss.
Yeah, and let's try to keep these a little bit short because we are running a little long tonight.
We still got off-season. I mean, I've kind of been going long because we have off-season.
This is a big episode.
Yeah, this is a long episode.
Okay, all right, buckle up, everybody. Okay, so Utah USC. Look, man, Caleb Williams, I hate the people that are telling him to sit out. Can I go off on this tangent?
We both will, yeah.
Emmanuel Acho came out, put out a tweet. We see it once a year, right? There's always this tweet once a year from somebody that is...
But never this early.
The smart guy. That was a dumb ball. That was a dumb pass. And our one of our best receivers just got hurt. But it's going to be fine.
At least our running back is back. Is our quarterback back?
Our quarterback's back.
Okay.
I have two completions for 3 yards.
I mean, this is not going to be an easy win.
No, it's not.
But we're going to do it anyway.
I'm sorry, but I'm going for it, Coach.
Do what you got to do.
I got to do it. I got to. Emmanuel Acho put out the classic, well, he should just sit out, right? He should just sit out. There's no reason he should play. There's no reason he should play. He's going to lose money if he plays, which, by the way, and this is where I'll take the tangent because I think you're going to take it in another way, is stupid because do you know how much money he is going to make from NIL by playing? By the way, more than Emmanuel Acho is making this year. So that's a dumb argument now.
Also, he has to play those games to make the money. This is now pay for play. You have to pay to make pay.
So the foundation of the argument is completely illogical. Okay? Mm-hmm. You can go with the rest of it now.
Yes, and then, and I'm not going to say all the things because we're basically backing off of what Josh Pate said on the late kick or whatever he calls that show that he does. It's awesome, and he had a really impassioned, emboldened, loud like I just was about Dabo kind of tirade. Or Michigan. I was loud about Michigan. But the other thing that he does, and he mentions the fact that, I love college football. You should want to compete. This is still a sport. This is still an important sport, and don't try to take away from its importance by suggesting that people shouldn't be a part of it, especially in today's day and age where people are getting paid. And Emmanuel Acho is an NFL guy, not a college guy, masquerading as a college guy to build his way up through the ESPN ranks or whoever he works for. And that's all fine. The other thing that he didn't mention that I do want to mention, and this pertains now to both Caleb Williams and Drake May, which, by the way, Emmanuel Acho, if you're calling out Caleb Williams, why aren't you saying Drake May in the same exact sentence? Top 10 pick. He's basically been the 1B to Caleb Williams 1A for the last 2 years, kind of BS. They're probably not going to be playing for a national championship. He's definitely not winning a Heisman. He's got even less of a chance than Caleb Williams
does.
a
drive. That's an absolute drive.
Huge drive to start off this game.
All right.
Anyway, but the other thing he doesn't mention is that they both of those two teams have only lost one conference game and can still go win their conference championship. So how is a teammate that's supposed to go be a teammate to other men in college supposed to look at his teammates and go, hey, I'm not helping you guys. Conference titles are damn important, man.
If I'm an NFL, okay, well, Samario Rudolph broke his collarbone. He's out for the season. If I am an NFL scout and I see, okay, well, he set out to protect his own when they could have won a conference title, I don't want that player.
No, Caleb's a little different, and I think Emmanuel knows that. But, it's still like,
It's not that I don't want that player. That's too far. It
Yeah.
makes me question his loyalty and what he wants to do.
No, if I'm looking at a third-round quarterback.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Great move.
If I'm looking at a third-round quarterback and I'm comparing two dudes in the third round and one of them sat out their bowl game, I'm absolutely, and if it's even Stevens, I'm choosing the guy that plays.
Yeah.
That wants to go out there and compete. And I think Caleb Williams is that guy. We're not throwing any shade at Caleb Williams here. This is all just the suggestion of it. I'm not even that upset with Emmanuel Acho as a human being. He's just tweeting and doing what people do on Twitter.
No, he's doing.
It's an asinine
doing
take.
his job. Yeah.
And it's even less of a good take
All
given
right.
today's landscape.
Flip side, Utah. Utah has announced that Cam Rising's out for the season. He's done. Utah is a top 15 team, yet again, has played spoiler to USC 3 games in a row now, and is becoming a really reputable brand in the Pac-12 and in college football completely.
Enough to go to their own new conference. They were
there is a, game day is going to be there for Utah Oregon next week. That's going to be a really fun game. But Utah is also this team now to me. Utah is the team that needs to be held in the same breath as a USC or a. Oh, that was bad. Oh, that was bad.
I know it was bad. I can get there.
It's all right. It's all right, coach.
We'll figure it out.
It's all right, coach.
That's my first turnover in a couple weeks. Anyway, what were you saying?
I like Utah is a contender now. Utah needs to be seen as a contender in every conference that they'll play in for the rest of time until they show that they can't do it anymore. I mean, their quarterback, their star player, the guy who was supposed to lead that team this year, is out, and they only have one loss and just upset a team that most everybody didn't give them a shot against.
And he played well enough that that's probably part of the reason why they're just kind of shutting down, because there's got to be information there that Cam Rising is not healing the way they expected. I mean, because he was supposed to be back week 1 and it's been on and off.
And
he's
granted,
been banged on and off through that.
It used to be that this was the average length of time to take care of an ACL injury, right? And it was the expectation it was going to take this long. That's not really the case anymore. But with him, this is a normal sort of thing. It doesn't matter to Utah. They're still winning games. They're still winning games convincingly.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. I think we need to start taking Utah a little bit more seriously, and I think we will start taking them more seriously if they upset or. I'm going for it, coach.
It's probably the right move because their super sim is going to score on us really easily every time.
All right, we're picking this up too. I mean, watch this. Watch me go. Watch me go. Bop. First down.
Fantastic.
But yeah, so let's take Utah more seriously. Are you done with Utah USC?
We'll just we haven't really talked about the ramifications, why USC lost, and the ramifications of it, and sort of the shock factor.
Caleb Williams threw 3 interceptions, and they all looked like really bad. And he wasn't there. Also, Caleb Williams and Jalen Milroe have the same Heisman odds in Vegas right now.
That's crazy. Williams, there is some validity to the against good defenses argument that I'm saying. Not enough to knock him out the number 1 spot in the NFL draft, like some people are trying to make it out to be.
That's insane.
But this is something I was going to save for maybe something to jaw about because we're talking about Caleb Williams. I'm going to talk about it now. But I was going to maybe do it when we were kind of past the podcast, but I'll do it now. The term generational gets thrown around
flippantly.
Way.
Yes.
It became one of those buzzy terms that people use, right?
Well, you also had Tua and Trevor in back-to-back years.
And yeah, but I don't think. Well, Trevor was generational. I don't think Tua. I didn't put Tua in there before the injuries that he was generational.
And then you also had Joe Burrow right after.
Joe Burrow. Generations are 20 to 30 years long. We can't have a generational quarterback every 3 years.
It is flawed in logic, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is an awesome receiver and probably the best receiver to hit the draft since the Julio A.J. Green year. I've seen a lot of that. He is not generational. You know who's generational? And that's
Quincy Radar.
Fantastic touchdown.
Come on.
We needed that. Thank you for doing that. We're back in this. You know who was generational? Keyshawn Johnson, who went number 1 overall at wide receiver. Marvin Harrison Jr. is not
Hang it on him right now.
We need to go up 21.
Bury him right now.
I need to run the ball more.
You blitz
good field
all
position.
night.
They missed a field goal. That's why we have the ball here.
Okay, sorry. Keep going.
So Caleb. So there was this like anonymous NFL GM that came out and said I would be taking Caleb Williams over both Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow in this draft, and that may be true to that GM. But people are taking that and going like Caleb Williams generational. Trevor Lawrence was for 3 years compared to John Elway and Andrew Luck, right? And we were told that this is the one, this is the one, this is the one, this is the guy, and he has been.
Yeah.
He's been good in the NFL, and he might be that good.
He's Anakin.
I get turned off how quickly people use the word generational now, right?
I agree with that.
Kyle Pitts was
but
generational
it's
for
also
a tight end.
it's also a thing about sports as a whole where we are so quick to jump to best ever,
Yeah.
GOAT.
That's Twitter. That's Twitter culture.
So,
That's all Twitter
it's
culture.
so quick now, though. Okay. The next game I want to talk about before we get to UNC, I'm just going to kind of rip on because you didn't watch it.
No, please do.
Forks up, baby. Arizona State nearly got them.
That was night. So yeah, you got to talk on
All
this whole
right.
thing.
I want to fast forward.
very
So
late.
Washington turned the ball over 3 times. Arizona State's defense has been good all year. I don't know if people are just sort of missing out on that, but they shut down Caleb Williams. They've now shut down Michael Penix. I don't know what else they have to do. Arizona State's offense is awful. Awful. Scatterboo is the best player on that team, and he is a great running back, but it doesn't really matter with that offensive line and what they do on offense. They had a sequence where they were up, I think they were up 1, and they could have gone up 4 by kicking a field goal. It was 4th and 3, and they had already had 1 blot, and they had already missed 1.
Yeah.
Okay? It was 4th and 3 from Washington's, 20. Maybe even closer. It was maybe the 17. And instead of kicking it, they went for it. Which, if you're going to do that, you know me, what am I going to say? If you have a good running back and you're inside the 20, what should you do in short yardage situations?
Should be going for
Run the ball.
Yeah, run the ball.
Run the ball. Because then if you turn it over, it's not a big deal, right? You get a fumble, everybody dives on it, it is what it is. You're not getting a scoop and score off that. Instead, they throw a pick 6. Game's over. Now, granted, the play before that, there was an awful missed call. That's all right. Bounce back. Next play.
I know, but that was perfect.
There was an awful missed call where a shoulder pad was pulled off of the shoulder of an Arizona State receiver. Not called. Terrible. But can't blame it on that. The pick 6 is where they lost that game.
Yeah.
Frustrating to watch.
I don't think it could run it in on 2 plays here. I think these all need to be throws.
All right. Oh, gosh. Drake May. Drake May and UNC and Mac Brown.
Yeah.
Do you want to go? You want me to go? I'll go because you're playing.
Yeah, I'm playing, but we both watched a pretty good share of this game, so I have a lot to say about the way UNC came out. I want you to start.
It was just, and it wasn't just that Drake May looked lost at times because he did. He still had some really pretty balls. He's a very good quarterback.
Timeout. I don't like that.
He's still a very good quarterback, right? No one is saying that he's not. But there were times he looked lost. And then the other thing that stuck out for me for this game was they got bullied in the trenches on both sides of the ball all night.
Yeah.
On offense, or on defense, their defensive line was getting pushed back 3 or 4 yards a play.
Yeah.
Right? And it looked so ugly. Their offensive line could not do anything to save their lives. There was no offense that they ran other than shot ball down the field. Drake May is just a great quarterback. Until they started running the 2-minute. It looked like the Bills. And it's just ugly.
Yeah.
Mac's not the answer. Mac has to go. Mac has to go. If you're North Carolina, this was the year. This was the year you needed to do it. You do not have a strong Clemson. You have one other really, really tough, 2 other teams that are really, really tough competition in both Duke and Florida State. I don't think anybody really thought that Riley Leonard was going to outgun Drake May, right? You had all of that going for you, and you still couldn't come over that hump.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're just not willing to really sink money into the football program. That's what I'm hearing from certain sources. I don't know if it's Mac's old and doesn't want to do things. I don't know if it's the AD doesn't agree with how Mac runs his program. I don't know what it is, but it needs to get sorted out now.
Get out of bounds,
okay?
Yeah.
Because the time's taken. And Drake May was a great quarterback that you just let go to waste, like you did Sam Howell before that, and you can't just keep having it happen. Yeah. I mean, they went to a conference title with Trubisky.
Did they? Okay, I don't even remember that. But
I'm 90% sure they did. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, Sam Howell was very much the same because they went from very good, and then his last year they weren't good at all.
No,
after
not
he
at
lost
all.
the 2 running backs and a couple receivers. But my big thing with UNC, my big thing with UNC is, and I said this a lot if you listened to our earlier weeks. So the people that did listen to our earlier weeks will remember this thing that I said a lot, and that is that UNC, my biggest fear about them was how often, and it's usually, I would even say, they play down to the level of the team that they're playing.
Right.
And they didn't do it against Miami, which is why I thought they were maybe turning a corner. I was very complimentary of UNC last week for that very reason. And then they came out and they did exactly what I said they always do in the worst possible way against the worst team in your conference at home on the CW.
Right.
You lost to Virginia on the CW.
On the CW.
By the way, they utilized this referee cam that they definitely used at the end of the game. That was so dumb that was a dive.
Yeah, me too. I'm mad about that is what I meant to say, not me too. I'm mad. I'm actually
like you should have gotten out of bounds there.
I'm actually mad. Yep.
Money.
Love that. Calling a timeout. I'm calling a timeout.
Yeah, the game-ending pick had a really cool angle. But anyway,
that was something we don't need to gloss over. That was the best use of that. But I am so tired of Major League Baseball thinking that that's so cool for them because it's not. Also, most of the time in college football, it's awful too because the referee, it looks like Cloverfield.
Yeah.
Right?
But, yeah, and then, I mean, they did it in the worst possible way and not in a way where they can recover from. I don't know if I see North Carolina fully recovering this to contender status.
No.
Yes, you can take out your tinfoil hat and your pencil and you can tell me all the little ways that it can happen for North Carolina.
Adam Gold, get at us.
But we have to be realistic here and say that is a season-ending gut punch of a loss.
Got him.
That is so terrible. We had 2 crucial drop passes in this game. You got this. So yeah, I don't know. They can play spoiler. They could again, tinfoil hat, get their way back into the mix, if you want to call it. But they probably won't. And that is the most devastating loss that the team had this week. And I know that USC is going to get the most talk because they get the most media coverage.
Right.
But North Carolina's loss is one of the worst mid-season losses I've seen in a long time.
I think it's the worst in their program. I read a stat the other day that there was something about the last 6 times they were 20-plus point favorites as a top 10 program. Not only have they, I tried to throw out of it.
I'm so glad he tipped that pick it.
Right, they have lost. They haven't just not covered. They've lost. That can't happen. And that's your team's MO now. Is just losing the big one. Losing when
This wasn't the big one.
Not even the big one. Losing the big one as in a big season.
Yeah.
It's so hideous. It's so egregiously bad, and I hate it. I want them to be good. It would be a lot of fun. Dude, that fan base is super passionate.
Yeah.
There are people who are dying for that team to go be great. Oh boy, that was dumb. I've got to throw the end zone here.
Yeah.
We got to get up. We got to get to the line.
This is actually very, very riveting stuff here.
Here we go. I got him.
I got him. Tight end. It's the tight end. Yeah.
6.
Boom,
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Woo.
We needed that.
All right.
You've been huge this game. You got 21 points.
I hate Tennessee.
You hate Tennessee.
All right. So, all right. Get rid of Mac.
I'm running the ball.
Running
the ball this drive.
Start getting more Drake Mays. Okay. Just simply do that.
I hadn't thought about the whole is Mac.
Also,
problem
dude,
thing.
Everybody complains so much about Tez Walker. As they should have. It was an awful, awful rule. It was stupid. They should have complained about Tez Walker. But you got him and then ruined it.
He was awesome with Miami.
And they can still win the ACC.
Yeah.
They can still do it. But does anyone, even in their fan base, believe they're still going to do it? No.
No. Not after losing to a 1-5
I'm mad
Virginia team.
for North Carolina fans. I really am.
We got to stop calling these. They stop working the longer the game goes.
I mean, I had a touchdown on it, and then it got shut down right after.
It always works at the beginning of games, and then the longer you go, they start putting the guy out there.
The only win that Virginia had before this game was Bill and Mary. Come on, man.
Yeah. No, that's as bad of a loss as you get, man.
Jade's asking if she can come inside. I hope she hasn't just been sitting in the driveway. I feel awful.
Jade, it's just a little live stream. We're not broadcasting to trillions of people.
It's only 1 million people. Oh, that's a dart.
Oh, I couldn't say
okay, so yeah, are we done with North Carolina?
We are, and we
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't want to come in and just dunk all over North Carolina this pod.
They need to be. But that's a loss that deserves.
You
dunking.
refuse to do the things that everyone knows you have to do to improve.
I'm dunking them as hard as I did Bama after USF, and that was just as atrocious of a showing, except they just didn't lose. But that would have been the same if Alabama had lost that game to USF. it would have had to be. I would have been. This is atrocious, unforgivable kind of stuff because that is exactly what it is, and I'm not going to be able to. Run the ball,
Another game that was really impressive, by the way. LSU put up 62 on Army.
They did. Why is LSU playing Army in October?
That's a weird thing. I agree with that. At the same time, well, we are LSU's biggest rival, and normally you play a cupcake before your biggest rival. And I not that Army's a cupcake, but look at the score.
I mean, Army's a cupcake. They don't have to be nice.
62-0 to Army, though. Army holds the ball for a long time.
They do. That's a hard team to put up 62 against. That is a good point.
It's also a team where against this LSU defense, where a lot of people have been saying that they're not very good this year, all of a sudden they're doing this. They're shutting out a triple option Army team. I don't know. It was shocking to me. Okay, do you want to move on to next week?
Yeah, let's pull up some of next week's games.
All right. We got them right here. Let's go. We got the cocktail party, Georgia versus Florida. It'll be the first game for Georgia without Brock Bowers.
That's true.
Also, Chad, if there's anything we missed from last week, let us know. Oh my God, we didn't talk about Alabama, Tennessee.
I guess and we're playing Tennessee.
Here we go, baby. B.
Yep.
Bap.
I couldn't get the stiff arm over. Switch the ball over.
After a season where our Heisman finalist running back just dominated people.
I'm about to run it more here, but
like all of a sudden we're just passing the ball left and right. We're just dotting up Tennessee left and right.
Okay, so you know how I started last week's Bama segment with I hate the trope tale of two halves.
I do remember that.
Right? And I have to do it again.
Yes. Yes, you do.
But you start because I'm playing and I have to score here.
Yeah. Jade's coming in, so if you hear the dogs barking, that's what's going on.
They're very excited. She's been gone.
The first half went, and you and I looked at each other several times during the first half, saying this is about as bad as this could go for Alabama. This is the worst case scenario for Alabama.
I usually don't say we're cooked in the middle of a game that early, and I said we're cooked. I mean, I thought we were not there to play that. I did not think Alabama showed up to play.
Showed up with way too emotion in the opening drive. Joe Milton threw one of the best balls I've seen all season to Squirrel White, who made one of the best catches I've seen all season.
Yeah. We got the ball back. They still didn't score.
I mean, it's not good for them. It's not good. It's not great to be a Tennessee Vol, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're from Tennessee, do you give a damn about the whole state of Alabama yet? Because it was 34-20. You probably give a damn about the referees. And then the second half, Alabama comes out and it's a completely different team. They are bouncing the ball out wide to pop passes to Kendrick Law. Mm-hmm. They are running the ball off tackle for multiple yards and big gains and ripping off big gains. They're calling designed run plays for Milroe. They had one in the first half. And other than a shoestring tackle, it would have been a 12, 14-yard gain.
I think they had another on
and
third down.
I looked at you and I said, we're going to stop calling it because it didn't work that one time. And we ran one more, and that was it in the first half. Mm-hmm. Second half, we come out, we run 2 or 3. He also has a big scramble, and that's sort of the difference in your ball game. So it's something, again, clearly, we should be calling the plays. Jade, I mean, what are you doing, man?
You don't have to crawl.
Yeah, Jade, just stand up, dude. Okay,
Jade
Jade doesn't want to be on the podcast, but...
Okay, just do. Hey, are we back? Yeah, sorry. That was Skylar walking past the mic receiver and knocking it off. She pulled the USB out of the computer.
Completely out. Sorry. Live podcast, though. Okay, so second half, there's all these different offensive run plays, and then the defense was just shut down. Mm-hmm. The defense was what Alabama's defense has been all year. It's had second half adjustments out the wazoo. I forget how many points have been given up to the likes of Heupel and Petrino and Kiffin, but it's not very many. I want to say it's less than 10 in the second half of those games against those coaches.
Yeah.
Bama wins 34-20. You and I smoked cigars. Saturday night was a great night.
Fantastic night.
If you're Tennessee, where do you go from here?
That's second level after yes, that's a great run. Where you're Tennessee, Tennessee's fine. I actually don't think Tennessee is going to be as dejected as people think they will because they saw Georgia. And that's a big game for them, and they play.
That's a huge revenge game for them too.
Big revenge game. I don't think Tennessee's bowing out. I don't think Tennessee. I mean, they know that they're not going to, but they're still in the the building stages of what Tennessee's trying to become.
I couldn't decide if I wanted to go inside or outside that block, so I just ran right into his spine.
You got 5 yards.
Got 5 yards.
But yeah, they're still building what they're going to, what they think they're becoming. So this wasn't, in their mind, the end of their run. This is just maybe a little bit, they've got Nico Iamaleava, or however you say his name. I did that off the cuff. I actually don't know if that's how you pronounce it. But they've got last year's probably best high school quarterback, unless maybe you want to say it's Arch Manning or that Arnold guy at Oklahoma. Anyway, so I don't think they're bowing out. I actually think they're going to be a tough out for the rest of the teams that do have to play them. I'm glad Alabama doesn't anymore.
I'm calling a timeout because I don't like this setup.
Yeah. And then, what was I going to say as far as Tennessee goes?
They've got Georgia. They've got Missouri. That's a big get-up game.
It's a big get-up game. I do see the Missouri game being a trip if they're looking at Georgia. But I think they're going to be okay. I do actually like
that's just big boy football, and Tennessee's not ready for it. They're not fit for it, is the problem.
Tennessee has a lot of moxie in that program right now, which is why I think they're going to be okay. But, man, was it nice to beat them.
It felt great. It felt great. Imagine beating your rival one time in 17 years and not beating them on the road in their house in over 20 years. That's what Tennessee's looking at.
That's a hard thing to do. That's a hard thing to see and
tough
look at.
Tough pill to swallow for sure.
Yeah,
but anyway, that's Alabama, Tennessee. Is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah. So on the Alabama side of things, I did promise you.
Yeah, keep going.
I did. Oh, I hope that's not a frozen game. That would be devastating. I would just sim until we won. I'll be honest.
That's tough.
Let's sit here and watch this for a minute. I'll take it off of that and go to this, but that looks like I might be restarting the game here, which is really tough because I was very happy with the way this was going.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That's tough.
I do want to do the off season. This is a bummer. I'm really upset right now.
Chat, just let us know you confirmed that we were up like 30-something points on Tennessee.
Yeah. And
so when we sim this till we win, it's not because we're being JUCO and babies about this.
Now even the mouse isn't wanting to respond.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Well, let's restart it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I get that back up. I will put that.
I'll keep talking.
No, okay. I do know what train of thought I was on. Yes, I did promise that no matter what happened, it was a survive and advance game for Alabama. So I will say that right now. I am very happy with the way the game went, despite the first half struggles, because they won. And I said that's all they need to do. If they win this game 3-2, I'm happy. With that said, until Alabama does learn to start putting a full game together, they belong around 9, 10, 11, 12. That is where they belong. They are not a full top 3-4 contender until they learn to play a complete game, which they have.
I think
that comes. But
I think there's a big difference between the defense putting a full game together and the offense putting a full game together.
Yeah.
When the defense doesn't have a full game together, that's when Alabama, I agree with you, they need to be in that 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
How many teams have won a national title because their defense is that good? A lot.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
A lot of teams have. Look, Alabama's defense in 2015 had to carry that offense.
Yes, but is the offense good enough to complement the defense enough to beat a Georgia, to beat a Michigan, to beat an Ohio State?
I think they're getting there.
They're getting there.
I think they're getting there.
They're getting there, but I need to see one full game.
We can't analyze this team right now as the final complete package.
Nope. No, you
right?
can't. But you do need to see it at some point.
Yes, at some point, I agree. I don't think we're going to see that against LSU in 2 weeks.
Oh, God, no. No, that's not the team to see it against. But an Auburn game would be nice, or, might be too late for that to kind of happen, but...
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they belong in the 9, 10, 11 range. I think they belong in the 5, 6, 7, 8 range. Mm-hmm. I think they're in that next tier of teams.
That game's struggling a little bit right now. I'm going to take it off of here.
Oh, no.
It's just not... It did this a little earlier.
Okay.
So when it gets back up and I get us a dub, I'm going to move on and we'll do the offseason.
Okay.
How about that? But we're going to keep talking until then.
I understand what you're saying. I think the defense, almost every game that Alabama has played this year, has gotten that full 4-quarter game. Mm-hmm. Part of that full 4 quarters is some of the quarters you're going to suck.
Yeah.
Right? Arkansas, they were gassed because they were on the field nonstop. You had the Tennessee game, they needed a halftime adjustment. Mm-hmm. Okay? Teams win games doing that. Texas A&M needed a halftime adjustment. Teams win games doing that, especially that one was on the road.
Right.
Ole Miss, halftime adjustment. Teams win games doing that. I think you had USF, Alabama's closest game of the year where they won, right? Was USF.
That's crazy.
Okay. But what didn't happen? The defense didn't just completely blow off the game.
Yeah.
They only gave up, 3 points?
Yeah, it's 17-3, I think that game was.
So I think the defense has put together full 4 quarters games. I think we're probably a little bit more used to Alabama dominating for a full 4 quarters on defense.
That is true.
And we haven't had that. But we also have a brand new defensive coordinator. And let's face it, a bunch of young dudes. Outside of our defensive backfield, Alabama's got a very young team this year. Dallas Turner played great. Jahad Campbell was the huge storyline from the game, I think. The big woe for me from Saturday for Alabama was just how awful Kool-Aid McKinstry was in punt return.
It's that. See, I've actually got a whole discussion about punt returns that I want to talk about once we kind of finish up this pod.
I think okay, all right, then we'll save it for that. But he's got to be.
We can talk about Kool-Aid specifically, and then I have another
He's got to be gone.
No, he's done.
That has to be the end of that experiment.
He's got as much of the yips as a guy can have at punt returner that I've seen in a while. I mean, he refuses to catch the ones that he's standing directly under, that he's called fair catch for. He's done this. The refs have noticed it. Everybody on the field has noticed it. The players aren't trying to hit him, and he's still moving out of the way on the 35?
Yeah.
The 30?
Yep.
There's zero reason to ever do that.
Yep. So, yeah. Man, NCAA.
There we go.
Okay,
no, we're good. We're
that's
up.
Good.
Now, it might take me a minute to sim a win, but we are up now.
And I hope chat, let us know if you're not okay with us simming a win.
No,
we're still going to do it.
I'm okay with
but
us
you can
doing
let us
that.
know if you're not okay with it. But yeah, I'm tired of Kool-Aid nearly cost Alabama the game.
Yeah, he put our offense in a terrible
Defensive
spot.
backfield. He was awesome. He was awesome as a DB.
Yeah, so he's gonna take
oh my gosh! Don't let it save.
I don't even have it pulled up here either.
Yeah. You're doing
talking.
a lot. Do you want me to do this?
I
can do this part while you handle over here.
think I just need to find the here. Let's just do this. We're fine. We're good where we are.
Okay. But yeah, that's where I'm at with Kool-Aid returning punts for Alabama. It's Kendrick Law's time.
Yeah, whoever the backup is, it's time to put him.
It's time.
But that is okay. Now we have wrapped up Bama, Tennessee.
Yep.
Closer.
Man. All right, let's move on to next week, huh?
Yeah.
All right, you've got really nothing during the week. Syracuse, Virginia Tech could be a good game. Georgia State, Georgia Southern, that's a nice little rivalry game. That could be fun on Thursday. FAU, Charlotte, don't watch that game. Don't watch FAU, Charlotte. Please don't watch that. Don't do that to yourself. Florida State and Wake.
What's our line there?
20.5. That was a joke. You've got, hold on, can you put up our little split screen over there? Cocktail party. We're talking about that.
Yes.
First Georgia game without Brock Bowers. What does Florida have to do to win the game against Georgia?
Play a perfect game.
I think so, too.
I don't think that this game's a storyline when we're moving into Sunday. I think Georgia because they were getting right. Georgia has been getting right for a few weeks and has a bye and hates Florida.
I agree with you mostly, but I think they have really been leaning on Brock Bowers for a large portion of their offense. I'm very interested to see what they look like. I don't think they're going to lose this game, but I won't be surprised if it's a little bit closer than we think, especially if Graham Mertz played the way he did 2 weeks ago.
Graham Mertz has been
better.
Not even 2 weeks. He's been good since their early loss. He has been a good quarterback since. I mean, I've seen a few Wisconsin fans really, we won!
Woo!
We beat them.
All right.
We scored 17. Okay.
There we go. All right, flip it over.
Yeah, I'll flip it over. We're about to do the off season here, which we can just kind to do this live. We don't.
By the way, we
games,
had beaten them by 20-something if you're just now joining.
We were up by about to go up 30 because we were we were going into the fourth quarter, and I was about to score a touchdown.
Game crashed.
Game crashed. It's now actually let's see who wins the Natty and all that.
Okay. You think Georgia covers 14.5?
I do.
Okay. All right.
I feel pretty. I don't know why, but sometimes I just feel really good about that kind of stuff, and I do, and so I know I'm wrong. Washington, the national champions.
Wow.
One of this dynasty,
all right.
Over Kansas State. That would be a fun Natty.
Yeah. That would be a fun national championship. You're right.
Let's see what the
Orange Bowl, UNC, and Notre Dame was won by UNC. Drake May.
Cotton Bowl will do that.
Alabama is playing Virginia Tech in a bowl game.
Yeah, Alabama has
on New
a
Year's.
few losses.
Oh boy. Why don't you go ahead and send that one, huh? All right. Yeah, I think Georgia covers. That's all I'll say. Duke and Louisville, two programs that maybe don't have as much to play for as they thought they were going to at this point in the season, but okay, Bama, dang. What bowl was that?
We're about to
Peach?
see. I was just getting them all knocked out. All right, these are the main ones.
I bet that was Peach.
Gator Bowl, Bama,
Yikes.
45-14. Okay, fun little season.
Yeah.
Cheeky little season to
Yep.
start with.
Hey, Coach.
Birmingham Bowl dub for us.
Let's
see if
do a little off season, huh?
Let's see what kind of job that gets us.
Okay, and then down here, let's move on. Duke Louisville. It's at Louisville. Louisville's been great this season. Currently, the line is Louisville -4.
Dude, that's moved up. That's gone in
Riley
Louisville's favor
Leonard
a bit.
is very banged up right now.
Yeah.
Duke's defense is very good. Louisville struggled against a good defense earlier this year. Where do you see this game going? Who do you see winning? And does Louisville cover?
Because of Riley Leonard's injury status and where everything is, and the fact that it's in Louisville, and both teams are coming off kind of disappointing losses, I'm gonna lean home team. And I'm gonna lean. I'm gonna lean home team. I'm gonna lean Louisville just because their quarterback is healthy, and I like Plummer as a quarterback. I like Leonard better, but he's hurt, and he's been coming in and out of games. I don't know if he's even gonna be playing this week or not.
Right.
So I'm gonna go Louisville before I even know what happens with Riley Leonard. But yeah.
Yeah.
We broke some records, by the way.
Yep. I love how it says 2013.
Right.
Congratulations, Coach. It was a great season.
UAB new 2013 record. He broke it, and the guy that that won it in 2018.
All right. There's that. So we both got Louisville winning. Do you have Louisville covering 4?
I do. Yeah, 4's too much for me to say they don't cover.
Tennessee at Kentucky, a bounce back game for Tennessee. Do they win that one?
Yeah. Again, I think Tennessee keeps playing their brand of football pretty much to a T. I don't see the bottom falling off of their season because that's a program still, despite the loss to Bama, that has a lot of inertia.
3.5 is the spread for that one.
That low?
Yes.
No, they cover
for
that
Tennessee.
Easily. They cover that easily.
I
don't think much of Kentucky right now.
I think if they can stop Kentucky's run offense, then yes. If they can stop, I think Ray Davis is his name.
Imagine that. They want to give us an extension.
Ooh, let's explore other options.
Yeah.
All right, Jet.
This is a big deal. Oh. No, so year one, it just lists a bunch of teams that we have no shot at. But yeah, they're going to re-sign Hugh Freeze at Auburn. Awesome.
Okay.
So we got Wisconsin. They're keeping Luke Fickell.
Yep, no question about that. Sorry, if you're listening on the podcast, we're just doing our off season. You should really watch the Twitch stream. Oh, our camera turned off.
Camera cut off. Let me go turn that on. I think the battery died.
Okay. All right.
Pop in a new battery.
We're just gonna chat. We're just gonna chat.
This is a very kind of strangely put together pod we're dealing with. So
yeah, tonight. Bear with us a little bit.
We've never gone this long. We got a lot. He's leaving the country for 3 weeks. I wanted this to.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
I'm walking around the room. We should be back here in a sec.
Okay.
Just that bad boy dead.
We'll see.
Man, that's also cricket now. There we go.
All right. Well, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Yeah, no, I see Tennessee covering this one if they can stop the run. And they need Joe Milton to keep playing like he was in the first half of the Alabama game and not the second half of the Alabama game.
If we never pop back up, we'll just keep this up
and sorry about it.
And be done. And you'll just won't see us for the rest of the pod, which is fine.
Yeah, and then, all right, you've got Pitt at Notre Dame.
Our first potential is head coach at Iowa. I don't think it's going to happen. We're not on the top candidates. No, we're not even being considered yet.
Okay. All right.
Which makes sense. Deion Sanders staying after a 6-7 year. That's actually pretty true to life.
That's actually, yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Pretty true to life. I like that.
Justin Wilcox, Tommy Reese is a candidate for the Cal job. That's exciting.
They go Scott Satterfield.
Wow.
To Cal. That's not a, is that? I guess that's slightly an upgrade.
Yeah, I guess.
And that makes the Cincinnati coach job open, which is big for us. And that goes to Ryan Grubb. Our head coach, Trent Dilford's going to move up in the ranks here.
Oh.
Ryan Grubb's killing it at Washington, though.
Who'd they take? Who did Minnesota just take? Oh. Zach Arnett.
Yeah. Zach Arnett stays, okay. This UAB staff is just going to get gutted. Thomas Hammock. Don't know who that is.
Oh, come on.
Dilly stays. Dilly.
Yeah, all right. And then...
Look at that name. Remember him? Colin Klein?
Wow.
I didn't know he was coaching at Kansas State. I honestly did not know he was offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I don't know if I knew that or not. Okay, Pitt at Notre Dame. I did this mainly because it's a Death Star game for Pitt.
Yeah.
You know, Notre Dame's finally got some more wind in their sails than they had maybe a couple weeks ago.
I never know what to make of that team, but yes.
Dude, Pitt's so weird, man.
Tommy Reese. Okay, this would never happen, but Tommy Reese, head coach at Navy.
Navy's offense is about to change drastically. Hope you didn't like running the ball too much.
Trent Dilfer's at Purdue, by the way, so we helped Trent Dilfer get a job at Purdue. He's now in the
We're going to be the head coach of UAB? Promote from within?
Maybe, but I don't think so.
Notre Dame's a 20-point favorite. They're at home. Does Notre Dame have any shot of getting upset by Pitt?
Yeah, everybody always has a chance of getting upset by Pitt.
Yeah, I think so too, unfortunately. All right. The big, there's a couple more. BYU at Texas. Again, a lot of these games aren't really sexy. I'm very interested to see that one, though. That's a 5-2 BYU team going to Austin, potentially without Quinn Ewers. Mm-hmm. Is Texas on upset alert?
Yeah, BYU is also a team that can upset anybody. They will, and when you don't pay attention to them, they can upset. The line is 17.5, so I would be shocked, but I wouldn't be shocked if BYU keeps it closer than we expect, kind of like Houston just did.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We're not even being considered by UAB as head coach.
I don't know about you. I am going to write down every single team who didn't consider us for head coach on a notepad.
I mean, we did lose 3 games, but we beat Tennessee.
We didn't lose that. The defensive coach lost that.
Yes. I didn't throw.
We set multiple school records.
I didn't throw interceptions against Oklahoma.
I threw plenty to Mississippi State.
Kevin Steele at Ball State. That would never happen.
Gross. All right.
Age, go start over at Ball State as head coach.
Alex Grinch just got a head coaching job. That's awful. All right. Sort of the last game we need to talk about for next week will be Oregon at Utah. Oregon is a 6.5-point favorite. Utah's got some dogs, man. This is the one game that Saturday I'm kind of bummed I'm going to miss.
Yeah.
Again, I will be in Versailles, so I can't really be too bummed about it.
Right.
But I don't know if Utah can necessarily stop Oregon because I think Oregon's defense is that much better.
It's our first head coach potential. Nope, they didn't take us.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
I'll be honest, these level teams, I don't think I want to do head coach yet.
You want to do an OC?
I think I want to do OC at a bigger program, but I want to bring it up to you before we get offered one here because we're going to get offered here one in a second.
Okay. Oregon at Utah, what do you think happens? I think Oregon's defense is a little bit better a good bit better than USC's and can stop Utah. Mm-hmm. And I think Oregon and Bo Nix and Dan Lanningham know that Dan Lanning? Mm-hmm. Why did I just say Lanningham?
Dillingham, maybe? Manningham? I don't know.
Whew, I'm an idiot. Okay, I think they know that now's the time. The back's against the wall. They've got to play like their hair is on fire, and I think that's a very dangerous spot for Utah to be in. That being said, if we get Bo picks, Utah could win by 2 scores.
They could. I think Oregon is a fair amount better than USC now in my head, and I think Oregon covers in this one pretty convincingly.
I think so too. Okay, for our podcast people, that's a pod.
That's it.
Right? Okay. Hey, thank you so much for listening. We know this was a long one. Again, I will be in Europe, but I will be dropping off a couple videos for Brick, so you will hear my voice next week, but hopefully you'll hear MC or maybe
somebody.
Maybe, another special guest. Who knows?
Somebody, or me by myself if everybody says no.
Who knows? So yeah, that's we've also got
it'll probably be at my house.
We've got a podcast co-host in the Triangle now from 2016, I want to say, in Parker Rhodes.
That's true. Parker would be a good one.
Option. He's an option. People are talking. The people are talking. But yeah, so thank you so much for listening. If your podcast, I know it was an hour and 36-minute pod, but we love you so much.
We've gone longer. We love you profoundly.
We love you so much, and I will be back, and I will miss you dearly on Pat's Interference, but I'll be back with a couple weeks left, and then we got Rivalry Week.
Yeah.
Rivalry Week.
Rivalry Week.
Okay, we love you. Bye. All right, break. Let's talk. Let's just twitch. Let's just twitch and play.
I don't want to take.
I don't want to take the NIU head coaching job.
I'm declining it. We will have. I mean, I don't think I'm going to take any of these because now the coordinator positions are about to pop up. Like, do we want to be head coach at USF or potentially offensive coordinator at Bama, which would be a lot of fun. And they're not offering us anyway. All right.
What do you mean they're not offering us?
USF.
Oh.
Now is Alabama going to offer us? We'll see. I think they're about to.
Come on.
Do we do Bama?
Yes.
Or do we beat Bama?
No.
We take Bama.
Yes.
All right, we're OC at Bama.
Roll. Tide. Roll. Oh. It just feels right, doesn't it? We're back at home.
And let's see who our defensive coordinator is going to be.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and then we could have done like Clemson, because Clemson would have. This is where everybody like will offer us in a row. Because Garrett Riley ran to Central Michigan.
I could see that happening.
Manny Diaz actually.
Dude, that is
okay.
a crew. That's
Yeah.
a crew, man.
He's getting it done at Penn State. All right, and then we can just kind of.
Yeah. Do we need to go through the rest of these?
I just want to see which other ones we might like. We might have gotten Georgia, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame could have been fun. Yeah.
Ohio State could have been fun, but they didn't do it. Is Hartline officially the OC now? I guess he is.
Yeah.
I guess he has been for a while. Yeah, Bama was the right call because like a lot of these.
USC would have been really fun though.
Yeah, I don't want to play with Caleb Williams though. That would have felt too cheap. I'd rather get it done with.
I don't think we would have had the option.
Hey, ECU went 0-12. Let's see who they hire. Let's
my
leave this up
God.
I don't think Forrest is watching today, but he might be now.
Nah, I don't think he is.
But Bush Hamden.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, we'll send the rest now. That would have been fun, right there.
Washington.
Right.
Yeah. I like that we went with Alabama. It's true to who we are. It's our brand.
So one of the discussion things I wanted to just kind of bring up was, and it started when we were talking about Kool-Aid at
Punt return.
punt return.
Yep. I don't know if what he did you can constitute as punt returning.
Yeah. This has nothing to do with Kool-Aid per se, but my good friend Kyle and I were talking, and he does not like the way that Nick Saban uses punt returners, i.e., putting very important players on the team as our returners. He is one of the people, and this is the way most coaches seem to think, because this is what most coaches seem to do, that takes a guy that's not quite your starting corner or your starting receiver, but takes a second or third that's fast and shifty and does him there instead. And I was arguing with them because my take has always been, especially now when there's less kicks returned than ever, any way I can get my best player. Now, I'm not saying that punt returning is an easy skill that you can just like automatically take.
No, it's very hard.
Let's say Malik Benson's our fastest player at Alabama. Then you can just take your fastest player and put him back there. It's a skill that you learn and you can be good at and you can be bad at. And this started because, for my money, I think Jalen Waddle might be, and the few times I've seen him punt return, a top 3 to 5 punt returner I have ever watched. But he wasn't ever that full-time in Alabama, and he's not been doing that on the Dolphins. And it bothers me, because he is scoring a touchdown on special teams is the cheat code to winning a football game in my mind. Like, it's the gift that you don't expect. So, like, if I were the Dolphins, I would be putting either Tyreek or Jalen Waddle back there to return punts, not Braxton Berrios.
Yeah.
And so he's saying that despite how Kool-Aid is doing, and I'm going to convince these dudes to stay, even though it's super easy. And I usually don't when I play on my own, because I think it's a little cheap because how easy it is to get them to come back. But screw it, we're playing with Bama. Look, they both came back.
Oof.
Oh, no, he left. We did lose.
Ja'Cory Brooks.
No, okay. What do we have to guarantee to him? These are some. I can't guarantee a Biletnikoff, but I can guarantee a conference championship.
Yeah, okay.
Why is your offensive coordinator? All right, who are we losing? Yeah, let's let Ty Simpson transfer. That's fine. He's going to Arkansas. That'll be fun to
Who's
keep up
going to
with.
come in?
I don't know. I mean, I think Milroe's still here. We should saw Milroe. Nah.
Oh, okay.
Arnold's saying, Nyblack, I don't want him to transfer. He'll play in more than 3 games. Oh, the transfer people never stay, though.
Okay.
Jazz Preston, I don't care. You can leave. I'm not going to promise you anything that you're not going to get. Ty Simpson, you ain't playing. All right. Goodbye, Ty.
Bye, guys.
So, how do you feel? Like,
okay.
Let's say you're the Dolphins. Are you putting Jalen Waddle?
I'm not going to speak to that because that's the NFL and I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Are you putting your even if it's Devontae Smith, if he's your best punt returner, are you letting him do that job?
Here's my thing with college.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know about pro football as well, so I'm not going to speak to it. Sure. Come on in, Calvin Dinkins.
Yes, this game, unfortunately.
If I have the best safety on my team, what position should I play him at?
You should play him as safety.
Oh, do you think? Mm-hmm. So if I have a guy who is head and shoulders the best punt returner on my team, why would I not play him at punt returner? no other sport is this a valid argument. Why is college football different? That's I've never heard that in my life.
Could not tell you.
I have never heard that in my life. Oh, well, he might get hurt. Yeah, he might get hurt playing defensive back, too. What's your point?
Yeah. That's the thing. And,
don't let the fear of striking out keep you from swinging the bat.
Thank you. I am not on board
Julius McDougal, the fullback.
The fullback. I'm just giving points to dudes. I'm giving 3,000 on each because I'm not.
Can we?
Really,
Okay.
He's going to get offered to Scully real quick.
I mean, so when Alabama, when Saban's gone and we get hired as the head coach here.
See, I don't know that I want to jump to I don't want to jump to Bama. But we could. We'll discuss it if we get there. We'll discuss it.
We're here.
We'll discuss it if we could.
We're here.
We'll discuss it. I like hopping around, but this is our podcast.
No, I don't think I would want to stay on Alabama. I want to do it for this season just to put up insane numbers and then go get a head coaching job that we got to grind a little bit for. Right. I don't want a 5-star head coaching job.
No.
I want somewhere we want to build.
Unless it's a really ballin' one. Washington would be kind of a fun one.
Oregon.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some more dudes.
All right, yay.
And we got the number 1 class. Yay. But most importantly, where's Kermit McDermott?
Kermit McDermott.
He is a Clemson Tigre.
Wow. Tennessee finished 3rd. He saw that bowl game and he was out, dude. He was out.
Lance Barber. If he is a quarterback, do we consider starting the true freshman just for
I don't think he's
shiggles? No, he's not.
Yeah, no. Wow.
But we got a lot of these dudes.
Oh my gosh.
He's fast too. Travis Hammond. He's probably gonna have throwing skills. Nope.
All right. You said you had another discussion question you wanted to go into.
Yeah, and I'm having trouble remembering it. But yeah, I'm so glad that you feel that way about your your punt returners. Just
I don't understand that argument. I don't know who that is.
Be Tennessee fans. Oh, weird. No.
That's from a long time ago. I'm Quentin. If you're still listening, please identify yourself so I know who you are.
Maybe a random. That's fine. We need randoms.
I
hope you're enjoying this. Ian, is that what? I can't read it.
I am Quentin.
I am Quentin. I thought it said Ian. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jade Norwood. Very good. The camera's off.
The camera died.
Camera died. Oh my God, Jalen Milroe's stats. We took the job at Alabama, the OC job. Yeah, so no Coach B this year. Coach B next year.
Oh, look at this! Look at this off-season battle between Jam Miller and Justice Haynes as to who gets to be our starter.
Wow, I can't believe we have 281 overalls. That's it.
Justice Haynes is faster than an 83. I don't like the way they do some of the.
I mean, how many teams are they doing? They can't do everybody.
No, they just do they keep people a little slower than I think they are IRL, which is fine. They do very good work doing these.
Immune Bubble Boys, shout out for the clap emoji.
Oh, we're very happy to see Jade here.
No, I wasn't saying Jade was immune. We actually have somebody named Immune Bubble Boy. Clap, 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 clap.
Nice.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for watching the stream. You watch us every week on Tuesdays usually.
Except when it's not.
Except for the weeks that things get hard for us.
Are we playing another game?
No.
Okay.
We're just finishing the off season.
All right.
We have a new kicker. Freshman, Mike Clark. He's accurate. He's an 81. Look at that beautiful. All right, let's got to figure out where these dudes are going. Ooh, little run it. He's fast.
Dude, he's going to challenge the running backs immediately.
Yeah. He'll be fun to kind of sub in at the end of games. Yeah, that's his best position. So he's going. Actually, he's also a very good free safety, but we're keeping him a running back. He's too fast to not have there.
I like how we get to make the decision of where these dudes go. Wide out. Oh.
Let's see how they're doing at free safety. Because we got a lot of wideouts.
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith, but they don't really have a.
Yeah, don't give him.
This would set him up for the future at that position.
I hated the way you said that.
I like the position.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Reeves.
Oh, a lineman. You never see linemen here.
Alabama does.
DT.
Center. All right.
Center might have been good there too, actually. It's hard to do. And then there's the receiver.
Man, Jay, we got to cancel our Europe trip so I can stay here and play this.
Yeah, I'll try not to have too much fun with it. I'll try to keep.
Are you gonna play games?
Not a ton. Oh, no, they already got a center. Yeah, he's going back to DT.
Oh, Brockmeyer. Didn't one of the Brockmeyers transfer?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's. I mean, we'll
That's
cut
gonna do it,
players,
right?
but I think. Yeah, I mean, we can be done now. I can just kind of finish this off camera if we want.
All right, y'all.
Unless people are still enjoying watching this.
That's it, I think.
But I do want to see who we're in the running back position. All right, guys. I will kind of next time I'm here, I'll do a nice long thing showing where we're going into year 2. Because I don't want to play too many games while he's gone because we're at Bama, and I'll feel bad now, which is why I was almost hesitant to do it. But I'm not. We're gonna win a natty at Bama over the next several weeks.
Yeah, play like 2 games. Play like 2 games.
We'll
while
play
I'm
some
gone.
games, and then we'll make MC play a few games and stuff like that. All right. Thank you, guys. I
Bye.
don't know why I'm waving. You can't see me.
Can't see us. Love you. Bye.